So welcome back to our next session. The next session will be mental health check-in. So we invited our mental health advisor, also our intercultural communication advisors to give you a check-in. I know that it's very boring or it's very hard for you to stay in the hotel for 2 weeks, right? So I think Jane will give you some tips how to survive in these 2 weeks. Let's welcome Jane.
Kevin, you should create some like yoga sessions or some of the jokes telling sessions that will be more helpful for everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. And if you have any question, you can type in the chat box and I'll reply it later when I see it, okay? Hello, the ETAs, coordinators, hello, Kevin, everybody. Thank you all for coming today online. I know that most of you just arrived to Taiwan, so I think most of you are in quarantine, maybe yes, and going through jet lag for sure. So I really, it must be a really exhausting experience for all of you. So thank you for waking up so early to join this session today. Okay, before I start, there's a few, I want to share a few important things before I start the presentation. The first one is because today's topic is about a mental health check-in. So don't forget self-care, physical care or sleep is really important to your mental health. Okay, so if you accidentally fall asleep during my presentation, don't worry, I will love you the same. Okay, this is really important. Okay, it's really hot out there right now. Everybody have air conditioning, so it's perfect for sleeping. And you guys just have breakfast early morning, so the blood is all in your stomach, which means in your brain there's not a lot of blood, so it's perfect also for sleeping. And going through a lot of changes, quarantine, airplanes, blah blah blah, a lot of adjustment. So I guess all of you are really exhausted, so it's also perfect for sleeping. So if you fall asleep, does it make sense? Yeah, absolutely, it makes perfect sense. Okay, so don't worry, I love you the same. Okay. And the second one is later I will share my presentation. If you think it's really helpful for you, you can screenshot it and share it to like anybody you feel will be helpful or you want to keep it. And I will also share this document. I think I'll send it online. I think there's a Google Drive, right? So then everybody can have access to it. Because I prepared a lot I only have an hour, but I think that this topic is important. And I respect your time. I don't want to like overtake your time, your lunch break. So like I will share the presentation. There's a little scale later we will practice together. So if I don't have enough time, probably I'll invite you to screenshot it so you can do it when you're having your free time. Okay, so the second one is screenshot whatever you need. And the third one is during this hour, if you need to contact your significant others or you need a bio break, you need to go to the bathroom, please help yourself. Okay, the last one, and I think it's the most important one, is please take care of yourself first. Remember, you always have a choice. It's always nice to hear all of your responses or your voices from the activities or some of the interactions we will have later. Maybe I'll invite you to type in the chat box, but it's okay if you don't feel like sharing or if you don't feel like participating. So like that is important. If you don't want to share, it's okay. Okay, and if you like to share, I would like to listen to all of them. Okay, so just follow your own pace. So these are I think the important things I want to share before my presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into my presentation. Okay, so if you can see my PowerPoint, would you mind typing 1 in the chat box to let me know that you can see? Okay, good. Cool. Okay, thank you. Feel like everybody can see my presentation. Okay, so a very quick survey for everybody. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about mental health check-in. So if it's on an energy scale, 1 to 10, I would like to invite you to check in with yourself a little bit. What's your energy level number? 10 is like, I'm super excited. I'm so ready for this journey. I overcome all these jet lags, and that's a 10. And if it's 1, it's like, oh, I just want to sleep. I don't want to do anything. Yeah, I want to check in, like, what are your energy levels? 603. Okay, 767676.032977710. Woohoo! Jennifer's ready. Jamie, and it's okay to have all kinds of. Anthony, is that a -5? Oh, around 5. Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing. I was thinking that if it's an average lower than 3, probably we will do a sleeping therapy session for everybody. Seems like everybody have good energy level. Okay, so keep checking in with yourself and see what is best for you at that moment, because it will changes. Okay. And I will introduce myself a little bit, and also my role in Fulbright. So in this new coming year, you know how to use me, how to find me, or what are some of the services I can provide. I am Jane. My Chinese name is Lin Yu Fang. Yeah, and in Fulbright, my role is intercultural communication advisor, but I also provide mental health services to all the ETAs and ETFs. And I'm also a licensed therapist in Taiwan. Right now, currently, I'm a PhD student at Shida NTNU Counseling Psychology PhD program. My undergrad is also counseling psychology. I work with elementary school students the most. And then my master, I studied at University of Oregon, couples and family master program, couples and family therapy. And then later I work with a lot of college students, university students, and also at local community clinics and centers. That's a little bit about my background. And in Fulbright, what is my role at Fulbright? You can imagine all of the ETAs. You are these beautiful flowers. Oh yeah, me, Oregon, go Ducks, yeah. Excited. Chat more later. Okay, this is, oh, where am I? Okay, so what is my role at Fulbright? Imagine all of you are these beautiful flowers, and then you come to this new environment, experience different experience in Taiwan, and also meeting these local people or your students, making new friends. And for me, I'm more like the theme that to provide support for you. So that is basically my role at Fulbright. Because that Fulbright wants to create like a safe environment for everybody. So like my role is a little bit separate from the program. Is some of the information we talk about will be confidential, because that's important to create. Because if you feel like it's more safe, then there's things that could be more shared. So this is what Fulbright wants to create. So they create this role. So I can provide individual talks. And I don't know if everybody have counseling experience before. Yeah, so like it's kind of like I can provide some of like counseling services, but in Taiwan, like online, we still call it like consulting. But like if you feel like there's someone you want to talk to during this year, there are some difficulties or there's some feedbacks or some experience you want to share, or like have some bad times, good times you want to share, that I could be a resources for you. And I could also help to connect mental health resources. For example, if you have a psychiatrist back in the US, or you want to see a psychiatrist here in Taiwan, you can also contact me. I have these resources that could speak English speaking doctors psychiatrist, or if you feel like it's more comfortable to see a counselor or a therapist in the local community center, I can also refer some of these resources or information to you. So this is what also I can help to connect. And also I will lead some support group or workshops. If ETAs feels like you have the need, you can tell your coordinators. Your coordinators will tell Kevi, and they can arrange that group, support group for different places. Or you can also email me, then we can see what could be the best for you and for your group. Okay, and because it's a intercultural communication role, so if there's any topics around intercultural topics you want to talk, it's also like individual talks, or if there's a few of you want to have like are curious about some of these different cultural Taiwanese, like these kind of topics, you can also contact me. And the last one is about DEI working team. I will be the ETA window. This is, Fulbright is creating this DET committee, and also we're creating a DEI for ETA, ETF working team, and hoping that we can learn and grow together to make Fulbright a better program. And if you're interested in this topic, later in next week, the presentation, because like right now there's like one part of the ETAs, there's more coming, and I think that there will be sessions that all of you together, I will share more detail about like how to join this working group together, and yeah, so in the later presentations. So this could also be a role for me. I really appreciate all kinds of feedback, and I want to have a little shout out to some of the ETAs putting effort and reaching out to me before the program starts. So we get to start this DEA working team preparation earlier. And if this is the first time you hear about this DEI, don't worry, you did not miss out anything. In the near future, you will receive more information about information about DEI. Okay, so this is my role at Fulbright. So if you feel like you want someone to talk to, you can reach out to me. So the process is really easy. Contact me. We just use email. So you just email me. And then this is for the individual talks. I will send you application form, which will include some of your basic information. And also there will be an informed consent. The things you tell me will be confidential, but there's 3 exceptions. If there's like self-harm, harming others, like, or is it against the law, like some of these issues we might need to report. But this process, I will be with you and I will let you know what will happen next. And probably if I need like your coordinators, or if I need the FSC administration team's help, like Kevi's help, or your coordinators help, or your LET's help, I will let you know. Okay, so like, don't worry that I will like go tell, like you talk to me and then I'll go tell them what you just shared with me. Okay, so don't worry about that part. So you email me, I'll send you application form. You will look through the informed consent and then also some information from you. These will be confidential. And then we can schedule a time to talk. Okay, so this is like the process. Okay, and if you are really shy, you don't want to like email me directly, you can let your coordinator know, and they have my email, so they can also help you or share my email to you as well. They could also be a very good support for you. Okay, so today we're gonna focus, these will be some of the topics that we will talk about. So I want to invite all of you to give yourself like some time to settle down and give yourself some couple breathing, and find a comfortable place you want to sit, you want to stand, or whatever makes you comfortable. Okay. And I want to invite you to look around in your environment. Okay, to okay, to find something that you like or appeals to you, anything, okay? So you can look around in, maybe you're in your hotel, maybe you're in the office, you're in different places, but I want to invite you guys to look around and see if there is anything that could appeals to you, okay? It could be maybe a cup of tea, it could be your snacks, anything. And if you like to share, you can put it in the chat box to share what is this thing, what is this thing that it appeals to you or what you like. Okay, so take a moment to look around. Boba, that is so nice. Oh, the view outside your hotel windows. The rug with the heart, that is cute. Kindle, blanket, your book, your window, journal, stuffed animal. Oh, that's nice. Books, sun. Oh, sun. Yeah. Books, sunlight, your cup of tea. For coffee. Okay, water. Tempo outside. Your favorite pens, maybe different colors. Okay. So it's really important it is always important to find resources for ourselves. So later during the presentation, if you need them, if you need the sunshines, if you need the coffee, if you need your pen, okay? Yeah, later if you need them, you know where they are and they can be your support, okay? And I will be here with you. All right. And one of my hotel wall is decorated with the tree sticker. Oh, that is really cute. Cute things, yeah, could always be soothing. So I picked a rabbit earlier for your friends. Okay, thank you for sharing. These will be your best resources. And thank you for sharing it out because everybody could, oh, I didn't think of like water could be my support. I didn't think that, oh, I have a stuffed animal. I should bring my Oregon duck with me. Okay. So later, if you need it, you know it's there. Okay. And today we will cover these three parts. The first one will be the challenge of isolation, quarantine. Today, mostly we will focus a little bit more on anxiety, this emotion. Later, we will have more time, then we can share like there's other like sadness, depressed, or like different kind of emotions. But today, because during the quarantine or isolation, what creates anxiety will be the most challenge. So the first one will talk a little bit about the challenge of quarantine and isolations. And the second one is there's a SAL scale. It will have like different items and you can like have a self-check. You don't need to turn in any of these results, okay? But I will let you know what are some items and then you can have like a score for you. Like if it's really high, you feel really anxious and you feel like you need someone to talk to, then now you have the resource, okay? And the last part is we're talking about these challenges, these emotions, but don't worry, okay? I will share like what are some of the ways we can face these challenge together, and what are some of the resources that Fulbright can provide, or the government or the local community could provide. Okay, going on to the next slide. I would like to invite you also to put in the chat box and to share two things. The first one is, what was your happiest moment last week? Okay, today is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, okay. So last Tuesday to this Tuesday, I bet there's a lot of changes. What are some of your happiest moments last week? And what are some worries that you have? So these two things, give yourself some time that you can put in the chat box. If you don't feel like sharing, you don't need to put it in, it's okay. Okay, so maybe these happiest moment could be your resources. And when you feel that these worries come out, it's totally normal because we're going through a lot of things. Wow, that's nice. Seeing best friend after being apart 2 months. You guys type really fast. I'm like, wow. FaceTiming your dog, your cab ride to your hotel. I like that. Sometimes these mini gratitude moments that piles up can create a lot of power and a lot of like energy. Package is always nice. Okay. Rachel. Seems like there's some of the bondings together. Oh yeah, feeling the plane. Okay, and these some of the happiest moment, and there are some of the worry you the most moment. Sometimes, yes, waiting for the COVID test before flight. Yes, because that's really nervous. Feeling the wave of depression. Yeah, sometimes that you will go through like some of these lower energy, feeling depressed, they're feeling anxiety. This is totally normal. Okay. And thank you for sharing that. Flying on a plane, whoa, for the first time, that must be a new experience for you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, some self-doubt. Later we will talk about when we're having, especially when we're doing quarantine or feeling like isolated. Because quarantine is like an isolation, and also you're coming to a new environment. You don't know who are the new people you will meet. These will also bring anxiety, and sometimes when you're alone, then you will have like a lot of thoughts around, oh, can I make friends? Can I survive? Blah blah blah. Like there are some of like these sounding sides. Yeah. Workout is always good for quarantine. Okay. On Zoom. Yeah, I don't like to meet on Zoom. And oh, okay. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. So it's really important to check in. What are some of your happiest moments? What are your emotions are at? Okay. And as you can see, okay, maybe I can let you guys to have a guess, because what I point out, there was two kind of emotions, right? The happiest moment and then also the worry moment. I want you to guess. You can give me a number. What are some of the basic emotions we have? Okay. How many? Okay. How many of emotions, basic emotions we have? You can give me a number, any number. You think there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6. There's 6. Ooh, I know there are some backgrounds of psychology, maybe. Okay, 15. Yeah, 100. Okay, there are lots of different kind of emotions. Okay, oh, sorry, I didn't make the question clear. Right now, I'm sharing that actually we have 6 basic emotions. You can see it on this PowerPoint that they are disgust, fear, joy, sadness, anger. There's 5, but actually there's another one is called surprise. There's actually 6 basic emotions according to Paul Ekman. He adds like contempt. There's like 7, but when we talk about basic emotions, actually we talk about 6 kind of emotions, and mostly is negative, like disgust, fear, sadness, anger. Surprise sometimes is good, sometimes it's bad. Like most of it is negative emotions, and like joy feels like the only one that is positive. But don't forget, all of these emotions are important. We need to take care of them. Yeah, so that's why we have this mental check-in session for everybody. And I know that everybody's going to face a new coming semester, a new environment. What are some of your feelings? It could be complicated. There are a few numbers You can see 1 to 25. You can check in yourself, like, what are some of my feelings facing this new semester? You can go ahead and type in the chat box, okay? To see what are some of my feelings, okay? So I see a lot of like anxiety and also excited at the same time. Yes, some terrified. Oh, hooray, I'm ready for it. Everybody is just different. So sometimes it could be a complicated feeling. Don't feel that you're weird, like, why am I happy but also anxious at the same time? It could happen, like all kinds of emotion could be like mixed together. I really like the feedback. Yeah, because like sometimes we will say positive, like it's a better in emotions, but sometimes how we share with like comfortable, uncomfortable emotions to make them feel better about experiencing these. Because when we grow up, sometimes they teach us like, why are you so angry? Why are you so grumpy all the time? Why are you crying all the time? Like it will tag that being angry or being sad is a bad thing. But thank you, Katie, for your sharing. Yeah. So sharing using comfortable and uncomfortable emotions could be a very good way to teach your kids. Yeah, so like there's different emotions that we are having, and it's okay to have all of these feelings. I don't know if you have seen this animation before. It's called Inside Out. Inside Out, and it's talking about there's a little girl. She I think her family moved and she's experienced a lot of different changes, and these are the emotions inside of her and how they like are interacting in her daily life. And the director puts fear and surprise in the same character, so that's why there's only 5 in this animation. Yeah, just a fun fact. Okay, so thank you all for sharing, checking in. Some of, because I knew facing this new semester could be excited, but could be anxious and all kinds of mixed feelings. And also, because during this academic right now, there's a lot going on. So we still have to go through quarantine. And a couple months before, we were staying at our house because of the pandemic. Yeah, and that you can see that there's 3 big boxes. The first big box is a lot of adverbs, and the second box is some things, like some verbs, and the last one is a place. But I think most of you right now are in the hotel, right? But in the hotel, probably they will be on the ground, there's bathroom, there's your table or your bed. So I would like to invite you, there will be 3 parts. The first one is the recent you. Okay, so for example, for me, recently, Jane is excitedly eating well, sleeping well in my bed. So for me, Jane, and I'm excitingly, so I put 0, and then eat well, sleep well, I'll put 1, and then in my bed, I would put, in my bed is 8, okay? And if none of these numbers that is related to your situation, go ahead, you can create some of your own situation. This is the recent you. And there will be 2 more rounds and see what are some differences that you experiences, okay? And saying, if you don't feel like sharing, it's okay. I love you the same, okay? Well, this chat box will be like lots of numbers. 898, emotionally talking to friends in your bed, yeah. Boringly thinking about life at your desk. soon you will start to think of your class curriculum and class planning. That will be for sure. Okay, peacefully watching Netflix at your desk. Yeah, yeah, it's your last chance to be relaxed, because soon there's gonna be lots of work, lots of mingling, lots of events, and exciting things to join. Thank you. Staring blankly, thinking, talking to friends and in front of the camera. Yeah, because I think that's been a year. Okay, by the window, boringly thinking about your past. So at sometimes that your past or your future that will come into your mind. I want to share something. If you want to separate what is, sometimes I'm depressed or sometimes anxiety. Mostly anxiety is for the future. You'll be anxious about things that that has not happened yet. But if you think of the past, mostly is maybe about like a sad experience or like a depressed moment. Yeah, so like future and past, that could be a good way for yourself to like orientate yourself, like what am I feeling right now? And don't forget, like these are like common and very normal feelings that we have. Okay, so remember your number. These are the recent you. And then the second part is, oh, maybe I have ideal combination of these numbers. What will it look like? Okay, so maybe you're in your quarantine, maybe the 4th day, the 5th day, or the 10th day, like you're ready to come out soon. What are some of your ideal combination? Okay, so maybe for me, I've been eating and sleeping well for a period of time, and I think that I'm prepared, and I feel like ideally I would like to relax myself, thinking about life, career, and in front of my desk. Okay, maybe I have a little movement from my bed to my desk. Maybe everybody has different. Okay, ideally, maybe when you get out of the hotel, you will be lying on your floor in your room. You will have your own. Yeah. Take a moment to think about what are some ideally combination. And see later if there are some ways that could help you from the recent you to go to your ideally combination numbers anywhere outside. Hope your dream will come true soon. Counting down together. Okay. Thank you for sharing. So you can take a look at your previous number and now your ideal number. And the last part is I'm curious about like what are something you want to do? I mean, like not in this quarantine, when you started your life, when you're getting out of the quarantine, what are some of the things you want to do? Like for me, share something that you are willing to devote it to. Like maybe for me, later, right now, I'm kind of like stuck at a place right now too, because I just delivered my baby. So like in Taiwan, we will have this 月子中心, like a center that we will stay for like a month. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm kind of like in a quarantine for 30 days with all of you. Yeah. So if there's something I want to do, I would really like to exercise, because stuck here, like I can't really go for a run or like go for a swim. Yeah. So that is something that I would like to do. So if you could share some of the things that you want to do, you want to learn Chinese, you want to know your new community, you want to meet some of new friends, you want to go exercise. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, my family, like in this center, my husband can come, but none of the family can come visit. Yeah, but Uber Eats and Food Panda could visit me. That could be a resource. Okay, so if you ever feel very bored, you can check out what are some good foods in Taiwan. Okay. Nice. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, this is really important. What are some things you want to do? And remember that sometimes you feel like, oh, seems like everybody is meeting new people. I'm not, but don't worry, give yourself some time. When you get out of quarantine, you will have like time to meet your coordinator, meet your neighbor in quarantine, or like some new friends or at the locals people. Yeah. Okay, so this is a really quick check-in for all of you. You can see what are some differences inside of you. Does this last question bring out some of your desire or some of your goals in Taiwan? Then probably you can start to work on some of the things. Okay, and so some of the challenge for isolation, quarantine, COVID-19, and also changing new environments. These are all new challenges for everybody. Okay, so not just quarantine, like you're coming to a new place, you're making new friends, and these will all bring some of these challenges. Okay, so maybe we will be facing some of these anxiety about the uncertainty, because there's a lot of things that we don't know and we can't control. And so we will be facing some of these. And sometimes our life rhythm will be disrupt. When we're at the quarantine, usually we'll forget what time is it, what are the schedule. We will lose ability to know the time, especially we live in just a room and maybe with a window or maybe without a window. It's just a room. So we need to have a sense of a ritual, make us feel more secure. Like you can create your own pace of life or your own schedule, so you can like keep track of some of your living pace. And there's another challenge is our movement are restricted. When you're doing everything in one place, that could be very boring. Like, thank you for sharing earlier. There are people sharing that some ETAs are sharing boring is definitely something we will face. Okay. So, so like creating this, like the usual routine, eat, rest, exercise, you just feel like very annoyed. This will be definitely a challenge. And then, because you're isolated from the outside world, feels like it. And maybe, yeah, for this 14 days, some of the things you can't do outside, you will feel this loneliness coming with you, even though that you feel that you are good at being alone, but actually sometimes it will be frustrated because we weren't trained before to live alone for such a long time. Human beings are social animals, so when we're alone, our brain actually will start to have some pressure. Okay, this is like a very common thing, and sometimes it will start to create different kind of mental health issues. Maybe you will like have insomnia or maybe jet lag at the beginning. You have to adjust a little bit, and then also depressed. You have like self-doubt, annoyed, exhausted, confusion, maybe for the past, for the future, or like, oh, Taiwan's so hot. Why did I choose Taiwan? Yeah, some of these will pop out. And like over anxious about your body, these will create because of loneliness, these will like create, so these will definitely be some challenge that we will face. Okay, so I'm a little bit running out of time. I have a little bit time pressure, so I'm gonna share a little bit faster. So if you have any questions, you can email me afterwards for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this little story very fast. I don't know if you know porcupine, these kind of animals. In Germany, there is this very dark forest, and there are a lot of porcupine lives in this dark forest, and it's really cold in the night. So these porcupines want to gather together to make themselves more warm or comfortable. But when they are too close to each other, they will sting each other, or you can see that they have a very sharp stings that will by each other. So these porcupine will start to find like the best way to be around each other. So remember that we're all animals, that we need the space for ourselves, but sometimes we need like togetherness. So later in the future, if you're feeling that, oh, because Asian, like Taiwanese, like we're very enthusiastic, sometimes we cross the boundaries, that we didn't respect some of your individuality, you might feel some feelings, okay? Or if you feel like, oh, I'm too isolated, maybe you need some togetherness. Like these are some of the feelings, these are some of the needs that we need to fulfill. If it's being against or not fulfilled, you might start to have some feelings. So this is also the way you can check in yourself. Is someone crossing the boundary make me feel uncomfortable? Or am I losing some of the togetherness with other people that make me anxious? These are totally normal. And if you want to talk about it, then we can talk together about it. And we can have more conversation about it. Okay, and this part, probably I will leave it to, I'll let you guys screenshot it, or you can find it online and then finish it yourself. And if the score you want to know more about the results, you want to talk about it, you can email me and we can schedule a time. So this will be A, B, C, D. So everybody can just screenshot it. Okay, 3, I'm going to change into the next slide. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and this is the 10 questions. You can screenshot it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the next slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay. The last slide is teach you how to have the total score. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'm also demonstrating it's really important when working with the elementary school kids, let them know that there's a countdown, that we're gonna move to the next slide so they can be prepared. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if you feel like, oh, I have more questions about my score or my situation, you can email me. All right, and then we can share 3 ways to face it. The first one is really important, is to allow yourself to have feelings, because we are just normal people, okay? Under these limitations, under this unpredictable situation, having worried and anxiety are very normal, okay? So it's not a bad thing, it's just reflect on our situation is like this. And we need some time to allow ourselves to have these feelings. These are our basic feelings. Our body will respond to it. So like when we're facing these pressure, it will be all mixed together. So you will realize that sometimes if we are facing too much pressure, our body, different parts will react. Okay, so this little practice, I would invite you can practice with when you're alone, or right now you feel like, okay, I can check in with myself. Is first we have to recognize it. So you have to recognize, what is this feeling? So if you don't know, it's such a mixed feeling. Like remember there were 6 basic feelings. You can use those feelings to find the words in it. Or you can use your body, find your body, like hello, reflux, because like maybe my stomach is having a lot of reflux. Okay, hello, stomach ache, hello, headache, hello, sadness, hello, anxiety, hello, depression. I noticed you. Recognize it, okay? And yes, I know it's uncomfortable. And yes, I notice it. It's really important to identify this feeling and let the feeling know that you notice it. So then we have more chance that we can take care of this feeling, but you have to allow it, not to hate it first, okay? The second part is focus on what are some of the things you can control. There's one pop out. Okay, why we have to focus on the things that we can control? Because when you focus on these things you can control, you can make it better. You can take care of yourself. If you focus on the things you can't control, then it's hard for us to have like a grounded place to start to work on. Okay. Okay, so later if you have some time, you can put like a square box and then put some of the things you can't control, and then put a circle in this square and put some of the things you can control. Okay, so things I can't control is maybe COVID. I can't make me anxious. I can't control this. I don't know if I can get along with the new cohort. Okay, I can't control. I don't know who these people are. Room is so small. I can't control, so I get annoyed. But some of the things I can control. I can make myself more comfortable when I'm worried. I can learn to take care of my physical and mental health. Okay, and do things make me happy. Okay, I can find my water, find my coffee. Okay, I can find my stuffed animal. Okay, I can choose what information I want to receive. Maybe I don't need to check the news every day to check on how many cases. Okay, or I can learn about my interests, so I can share when I get out of quarantine. I can share with my cohort and see if other people have the same interests, painting, drawing together, like all kinds of interests you can share. These are the things you can control. Okay, the last part is find the benefit of the quarantine. So you can think, what can you do during this quarantine? Maybe there's a couple of days left. Maybe there's a book you want to read, you didn't have time to finish it. Or you have a long to-do list, or practice yoga, or sleep a lot, connect with friends. What are some of the things you can do? And especially everybody's are going to change to new sites or places. You can also challenges you can do in these new places. Try different food here, or practice Chinese with locals. You can make some of these lists for you to find the benefit of it. Okay, so it's like reframing. Yeah, use a different perspective to view. Okay, because of the time, I think that I will leave because I'm gonna share these this PowerPoint to you. So I leave this 6 way to make your isolation more energetic. Okay, so I'm just gonna read through some of the topics. Okay, so make sure that you control the COVID related information sources, reduce the source of stimulates. Okay, so if you're really worried about, maybe in the US is really, the situation is still there, you worry about your family, sometimes it's important to reduce these stimulates. Okay, that could be better for you to adjust to the environment here. Okay, maintain some of the resources and try new things, try something new. Okay, you didn't try before. And then organize cleanup, that could really help anxiety. Okay, and keep in touch with other. Is like quality talk with someone else. It's not receiving chats or information from Fulbright. Okay, that doesn't count. Keep in touch with others. Okay, it's like a quality talk with someone else. Okay. And then maybe you can practice mindfulness and meditation. There's a lot of research on it that could help you create alpha waves, or it could help you with your nerves. We don't have time to talk about that today, but that could like change your brain and some of the waves that could help you to focus. Okay. Okay, the last 2 slides I would like to share is you can use the 5 senses to help yourself come down. So like drink a cup of tea, smell roses, or touch the pillow, or read a book. Okay, so like find the best way for you to calm yourself. These 5 senses is the best way to help us relax. Okay, last guess. Anyone want to guess which sense could be the fastest way to help us relax? Does anyone want to guess? If you're alive, if you're here, if you're still awake. Okay, good guess. Smell. Yes, it's smell. This sense smell is the only sense which directly reach to amygdala. It's a place that control our emotions. Other senses will go to that part too, but they will go to another place and then to amygdala. But smell. So I saw someone put lavender, like any of these smell that could help you feel comfortable. Go ahead and use it. Okay, and remember that emotions will be affected by the weather. So if you are located in some of the places that will rain, like Ilan, so be prepared, but don't worry, okay? Just keep aware of the humidity, temperature, or sunshine could really affect our moods too. Sometimes if it's too rainy, you will feel you're sleepy and you will lose concentration, and that's normal, okay? But if you want to sleep all the time, then please talk to me, okay? Probably not the weather. And if you have like a higher temperature, that could also lower the anxiety. And the last part is really important is sunshine. We need the sunshine because sunshine creates vitamin D. Vitamin D will create more serotonin, like something that could balance our emotions. And when at night, it will change into melatonin, which can help us sleep. So sunshine is really important. Okay, so these are the resources. You can, the last slide, resources. I'm sorry that I overtook a little bit time. If you need to get offline, help yourself, okay? I just need another 2 minutes. Okay, so this is the resources that Fulbright can provide. Your site coordinators, your advisors, and then other ETAs. And also don't forget me, I am also a resource. And in the community, there's community centers, there's clinic, there's hospital, and then your LET could be, hopefully they could be your resource, okay? And then the last one is Lifeline, is from the government. These two numbers is 24/7. So if you need some of these resources, you can use it. But for the Lifeline, I can't guarantee that they speak perfect English because it's for the for Taiwan, for everybody. So just want a heads up, okay? Make sure you guys know. All right, so the last part, this mini gratitude moment, make sure that you close your microphone, okay? And if you want to close your screen to do this last practice, you can go ahead and turn off the screen because it might look ridiculous, but it's super important, okay? So repeat after me. Okay, so you're gonna tap on your shoulder. Okay, you can say hi and say your name. So like, hi, Jane. And then you guys can repeat after me. Thank you for spending this hour listening to this presentation. Okay, your turn. If you lose attention at some point, it's okay. I will love you the same. Okay. New journey is ahead. Remember, you are not alone. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining this mini gratitude moment and listening to this presentation. This is my email. Once again, if you need it, you can email me. And okay, I'll give the time to Kevi, and I think that will be all of today. Okay, thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane. So this is our end of the morning session. So thank you all for your participation. So let's wait for your lunch. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you for joining. If the hotel treats you bad, let us know too, okay? Hope you get good food.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.